All right. So you're going to log on to Schoology. Okay. You're going to go to this course. All right. So remember, you might be signed up for 2 Music in Our Lives courses, because what I did is I had IT change it so that I could put all of my students, all 5 sections that I teach, into one Schoology course so that I don't have to post things like 5 times. All right. If you need to use your phone to access Schoology, that's fine if you don't have your laptops. So you're looking for the Schoology one that I'm pointing to. Okay, it's the one that's like a splatter painting with musical notes. All right. So you're going to click on that. And it should default to my materials page. If it doesn't, if it's on one of these other tabs, just click materials. All right, and it will take you where you need to be. All right. Now this is Unit 7 that we're in now. So Broadway musicals, we're dealing with Unit 7. So you're going to click the Unit 7 folder. It's going to give you all this stuff. We've already done musical theater. Lisa Long, Audrey McDonald, American Musical Theater, Les Mis. Please be aware of these things because all of this stuff is due on Monday when you when you hand in the test. All right. But you can also use all of this stuff for the test as open notes. Likewise, with the Broadway Musical Research Project, you can do the same. All right. Again, don't be intimidated by this. It's not as bad as you think. It's not like a huge report that you have to write. Okay. It's not bad. You're gonna have to put some time. It's gonna take the 3 days that I'm giving you. All right. But it's not as bad as it sounds. I just couldn't think of a better title for it. All right. So I'm going to go over the instructions with you first. You can click on these documents and open them on your laptop as I go through them. All right. So these are the instructions. All right. Broadway Musical Research Project. Okay, we are going to explore 5 of the top grossing Broadway musicals of all time. This means that they have generated the most revenue in the Broadway musical theater genre. This can change, okay, from time to time. It doesn't have to always be this way, but we're looking for what are the top 5 grossing musicals of all time currently, okay? So your first task is going to be to identify which of the following musicals are, in fact, the top 5 money earners of all time and list them in order from the greatest to the least amount of money earned. Okay, we're not really going to list them. All right, I'm going to give you a form to fill out for each one, and I'll show you that in a minute. You're going to put the title, and then you're going to determine which ones are the top 5. So please select from the list below. Okay, so the list below. Okay, Beauty and the Beast, The Book of Mormon, Cats, Chicago, Jersey Boys, Les Miserables, The Lion King, Mamma Mia, The Phantom of the Opera, and Wicked. These are in alphabetical order. Just telling you this is not the order. These are definitely the top 10 highest grossing Broadway musicals of all time. You're only going to be working with the top 5. You have to determine what they are, okay? These are not in any order. This is not Beauty and the Beast being the top 1 and Wicked being the bottom 10. Okay, the 10 at the bottom. It's not arranged that way. Alphabetical order. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Okay? They're arranged alphabetically. It is up to you to determine which ones are the top 5 grossing. So make sure you're paying attention here, guys. Okay? I'm going to give you plenty of time to work on this. But not now, but that's going to be on you, yes. So you're going to have to determine which ones are the top 5 as of most recent, okay? Now, I want you to, make sure you're paying attention right now because don't start it now, because if you start it now, you're going to be doing it wrong because there's specific information once you find them that I want you to find. And I'm going to show you how to fill this out and go over the rubrics so that you know what's going on, all right? So just stay focused on what I'm doing right now. Once you've identified the top 5 earners, you will then begin to complete the form for each musical. So you're going to end up with 5 forms. and you're going to fill one out for each musical. And you're going to need these for the test. All right? You're going to need this information. Make certain that you accurately record all information on the provided form. You will be expected to use your computer to navigate, first and foremost, ibdb.com, which is Independent Broadway Database. Kind of like Independent Movie Database, film or whatever it is. It's the same kind of thing. It's a database for Broadway musicals, all right? But along with other websites, and I've given you links to some other websites that are going to help you. And of course, you can Google, all right? You can Google, and if you find other websites, that's fine. The one thing you want to make sure is that if you do find other websites, make sure that the dates make sure they're as recent as what I've given you or more recent, okay? If you find something more recent than what I've put in Schoology, that's fine, all right? The first portion of this form can be single answers, and you'll see why this is obvious in a minute, okay? Just answer the question, no complete sentence. That's the first part of the form. The second part of the form, which is the awards portion of the form, you're simply just going to list the awards. So that's not complete sentences either. List the awards, but make sure when you list the awards, I'm only interested in Tony Awards. I don't care about Theater Desktop Awards and anything else, just Tony Awards. I'm going to show you how to get this stuff. Make sure that you put the year, the award, and note whether it was nominated or actually won the award. Okay, got it? Because there's a difference. And we'll take a look at that in a minute. The last part is the summary or the synopsis of the musical. Make sure that that is complete sentences, paragraph form, at least minimum of one paragraph. Do not plagiarize. Whatever you find in your research for that summary, put it in your own words. It must be accurate. I'm going to be looking at accuracy and I'm going to be looking at grammar. So make sure that you're writing the best that you can there. All right. So that's basically the directions. Now I want to take a look at the form, because this is a form that you're going to be filling out for each musical. I have hard copies. Now, if you prefer to download the form from Schoology and open it in Word and fill your 5 forms out on Word, that's fine. You can submit them to me through Schoology. That's cool, but you're going to want to print, because you can't use mobile devices and computers for the test. So you'll want to print them. But I do have hard copies of the form that I will disseminate if you prefer to handwrite them. Okay, this I will tell you that if you do it this way, you'll have copies for the test, and then just hand them in with the test. So really, that might be the best way to do it. But if you have access to a printer and you can print them and you prefer to do them on the computer and give them to me electronically, that's fine. Okay, that's definitely okay. So basically, guys, the part where you don't need complete sentences would be this top portion. So you're going to put the title of the musical. Now what you're going to do is you're going to put the title of the musicals. The 5 that you discover are the top grossing of those 10 top grossing. All right. What do we mean by top grossing again? What are they doing if they're a top grossing musical? What do they do? They earn the most money. Good. So you're going to put the title. You are going to put the theater where it was on Broadway. You're going to put who wrote the book. In other words, the script. Who wrote the script? Who wrote the music? Who wrote the lyrics? Sometimes the person who wrote the music and the lyrics is the same. Sometimes it's the same person for all 3. So, for example, in the musical Rent, Jonathan Larson wrote the book. Jonathan Larson wrote the music, and Jonathan Larson wrote the lyrics. So you'd put Jonathan Larson for all 3. But some of them, all 3 are different as well. All right. Previews. Previews are when they sort of do like demos of the show. They preview it to a select audience, but it has not gone public yet. So you're going to put the date of the first preview. And then you're going to put how many total previews there were. You're then going to put the opening show date. This is when it opens to the public. You'll put the opening date, the closing date. If there is one, there won't be a closing date in all cases. So you might, I know for one of them, you're going to have to put not applicable because it hasn't closed yet. Okay, actually, a couple of them. And the total shows. How many times did this show how many times was it performed? The total gross, again, total gross would be what? Well, total gross is how much money this specific musical made. The top grossing would be the most money. Okay, but total gross for this musical, whatever it is what it made. Okay, the setting. Okay, settings sometimes are specific, like Rent is specifically the Lower East Side of Manhattan in New York City in 1989. December 31st, 1989 to be exact, to December 31st, 1990. Okay, very specific. You're going to want the time, or, the date, at least the year. You're going to want the year and the location, if you can get it. But some are not as specific as Jonathan Larson was with Rent. Some aren't. Okay? Guys, stay awake, stay with me. If you're sleeping, it's a 0. All right? And if it looks like you're sleeping, I can't help you. So some of them are very specific. Jonathan Larson's extremely specific. Okay? Bublil and Schoenberg are very specific with Les Miserables on several different occasions because the time keeps changing, the location keeps changing. But not all of them are that specific. You might just have a location, okay? There might not be a time, there might not be a year or a date, okay? There may not even be a location, and the location may be very general. And I'm going to show you an example of that in a minute. Tony Awards, again, you're going to list them. You want to put the year, the award, and was it, basically the status. Was it a nomination or was it a win? Is everyone following me so far? Summary, that's where you're going to put your paragraph, at least a paragraph summary of the show, of the storyline. So does everybody understand the form? Make sense? I'm going to show you where some of this information is going to come from, because a lot of it is going to come from IBDB. Okay? Excellent. Let's take a look at the syllabus for this. Sorry, the rubric, rather. My bad. All right, so the rubric. It's a basic rubric, guys. Okay, so basically the basic information. When we're talking about the basic information, we are talking about this stuff from title down to setting. Is everyone with me? Title down to setting. That's the basic information. All right, so basically to get a 5 out of 5, all information has to be filled in completely and correctly. All right. From that point, anything that's either incorrect or missing in that section, you're going to lose a point. You with me? Okay. So anything missing or incomplete or inaccurate will be a missing point. Awards. That'll be the Tony, the awards section. I am only concerned with Tony Awards. Okay? So you're going to go through there. Number 5, if you get 5 points, all awards have been listed correctly. All right? 4 would be 1 is missing or incorrectly represented. And then, every time you either have 1 missing or 1 is incorrectly misrepresented or incorrect, you'll lose a point there. Does that section make sense? We're good? Synopsis, a summary. For a 5, the synopsis needs to be completely accurate and does not contain any grammatical errors. That's a 5 out of 5. A 4 would be that the synopsis is completely accurate but contains some grammatical errors. A 5 would be that the synopsis is completely accurate but contains a significant amount of grammatical errors. The one thing I'm not going to tolerate at all is inaccuracy in the synopsis. Make sure that you're careful about what you're putting down for that. 2 points. Synopsis is mostly accurate and contains many grammatical errors. But I will tell you that if it's only mostly accurate, you're automatically getting a 2. I don't care if it's perfect grammar. You got to make sure that the synopsis is accurate. Grammar is important, but the accuracy of the synopsis is more important. Does that make sense, guys? So just get the best of both worlds. 1 point if the synopsis is inaccurate, like, pretty much mostly inaccurate, okay, and contains grammatical and or contains many grammatical errors. This is a group project. 5 points of each of these is going to be how you work in your group. So for 5 points, students work effectively and efficiently in their groups with no teacher intervention. All right, 4 points. Students work effectively and efficiently in their groups with little teacher intervention. 3 points. Students work effectively and efficiently in their groups most of the time, but requires a significant amount of teacher intervention. 2 points. Students work effectively and efficiently in their groups less than half of the time, despite many teacher interventions. And lastly, for 1 point, students do not work effectively and efficiently for the entire project, despite countless teacher interventions. Does everybody understand that rubric? That is a total of 20 points for each musical. So for all 5 of them for the entire project, how many points is it worth? How many points is the entire project worth? If each of these musicals is worth 20 points, how many points? You're doing 5 of them. How many points is the whole project worth? 100 points. Major grade. This could be a big help to some of us who are struggling. This grade is huge. Okay? Group work is a big part of it. Each one of these sections are worth 25 out of those 100 points. So if you don't work in a group, you can choose not to work in a group, but the best you're going to get is a 75%. One of the requirements is to work in a group. Now, a group can be 2 people. That's fine, but no more than 4, okay? So 2 to 4 people is a group. So if you're better with partners, it's fine. Just work with another person, all right? And that will count for you. I am going to be writing down tomorrow, I'm going to be writing down probably today at the end of class what these groups are, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to fill out one of these forms together. We're not going to use one of the musicals I've listed there. We're going to use a different one that's not on the list. All right, so we're going to go through and fill this out. You're not going to fill anything out because you don't have it, but I'll fill it out. You guys are going to help me make sure that the right information's in the right place. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open up Independent Broadway Database. Look at it's one of the websites that is listed for you. Click it, it opens in a new tab. This is what Independent Broadway Database looks like. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the quick search. When you've discovered you can't find out what they grossed in this database, that information's not there, but most of the other information is. So that you're going to have to find somewhere else. When you're determining which of those 10 musicals are the top 5 grossing, you've got to look other places. And I provided some websites that can help you. So we're going to do Once on This Island. All right. And those of you who are not paying attention, I suggest that you pay attention. All right, so we're going to look at Once on This Island. Now, it's important to note, guys, I'm not talking about which show am I talking about? What do I want you to focus on? Broadway, London, Toronto, touring, what? Broadway. Specifically, which Broadway one? The original run or the first revival, second revival? Not the latest one, the original run. So here's how you determine. First off, okay, before you do anything, all right, what information can we get right off the top for this musical? So you can get who the book's by, who the lyrics are by, who the music's by. Good. What else? What else can you get? Antilles. So what would that be? The right. Okay, so let's do this one thing at a time. Who wrote the music? Well, first off, what is the title again? Right. Once on this island. Excellent. What's the next thing we can gather from that page? The music is by who? Stephen. I know it's PH Stephen Flaherty. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll put that in there. So that was the music. So the music, Stephen Stephen. All right. Flaherty. Flaherty. Stephen Flaherty. Good. What else can we gather from that we need on that form? What else can we gather, guys? Look. Aaron's, yes. Good. So the lyrics, guys, those of you who are not paying attention, you really want to pay attention. I can't emphasize it enough. So the lyrics are by Lynn Ahrens. What else can we get out of there? There's one more thing. You mean the book? No. Lynn Ahrens as well. So sometimes you'll have two. You'll have one person that did more than one thing. Go ahead and write them in. So Lynn Ahrens. All right, continuing on. Pretty much the whole top portion can be done with independent Broadway database. All right, so which one do you think we want? Now, only Broadway dates. We do not want touring productions, the ones that go from city to city. Some of them you'll see London listed, Toronto listed. You'll see other countries listed sometimes. We are concerned specifically with Broadway productions, which would be in New York City, Broadway. So, if we want the original and not a revival, which one of those do we want? Number one, number two, or number three? Number one, right today. Why? Yeah, and make sure, guys, because sometimes they're out of order. Make sure that it is what? The earliest date would be the original, right? So what information that we need on this form can we get from just this page right now on this line? The what? The name of what? The date? It was in New York. Okay, you could get it there, yeah. And what theater? So Booth Theater. So you can get opening and closing date there, but I would go to the next page and I'll show you why for that because there's specific opening dates. So Booth Theater, well, guess what? You need to know that. So you're going to go to the theater and you will put Booth Theater, okay? Good. So now we're going to click on it because there's more information to be had. Okay, so what information here do we need? What information here do we need, guys? The first preview date. Good. What is it? Right. Now, you're going to have to put the, all right, so October 2/90. Okay. All right. So, what do we need next? What? Okay, so opening dates there. What is it? Right. So 10/18/1990. Okay. Shh. 10/18/90. What else do we need? And what is it? Right. So 12/1 91. Guys, what else do we need? Yes, how many? 469. So that's the total shows. 469. And there's one more thing actually we need out of there that we missed. And how many is it? Thank you. So the total previews is 19. Oh, you know what we forgot to get? Yeah, well, the gross you don't get from IBDB. You're going to have to do some searching for that. Check the websites I gave you and see if you can find stuff more current than what I gave you too. All right, we forgot setting. What was it? Was an island. It was a very vague setting actually. It was an island in French Antilles. Okay, so it was an island in the French Antilles. Now, there's one more thing you can get from IBDB. It's the awards. So look, if I go out here, you're going to notice right underneath all this basic information, there's opening night credits. That's this. Awards and songs. What do you think you want to get the awards? All right. And look, they're listed below there. Look, Tony Awards. That's all I want. Okay? But list them all. All right? Now, I want you to list them, guys, just like they are here. The year, the award. So like this one, for example, 1991, Best Musical. Did it win it or was it nominated? Nominee. Okay, make sure you put that. I would list them just like that. Are there any questions about this? All right, I just want to show you there are some other websites. So most of this you're going to do with IBDB. Once you identify the musicals that are top grossing. You can't get the gross information from IBDB. All right. But there are other websites. So you got Independent Broadway Database, I showed you, Playbill. Now Playbill, I'm gonna have to call IT because it's not coming up on the laptops. But if you got it, you could use your phones to get Playbill. But Playbill is pretty cool because you can search, look, you can search within it. All right. So you click the magnifying glass, guys, look at it. You click it, it opens up a search bar. You put something in, oh, I want to know about Once on This Island. All right. And it will come up with information on Once on This Island. Okay. So this can help you with parts of this project. Likewise, all right, you've got Broadway, go, explore all these sites. All right, but likewise, you got Broadway Musical Home. Again, guys, look, you got categories you can use. Ladies, please, you got categories you can use, plus you can click on the magnifying lens to open up a search. All right, also you have Broadway Direct. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I am going to hand out